Hey everyone, I'm Whitney and I post sewing and crafting tutorials here on YouTube. And I've mentioned in a few of my videos that my first big project was a quilt. And my dad actually came across it while he was cleaning out the attic just a couple weeks ago. And so I wanted to share it with you all today. I started this quilt about 10 years ago and I was using this tiny little sewing machine that didn't even backstitch, and it was made out of plaid and stripe material that was left over from my mom's quilt project that she was doing at the time, and all the material came from shirts that we had thrifted. So it was a very low budget but fun project that I was working on. So I cut a ton of pages out of a phone book and then trimmed them down to exact squares and sewed my strips of fabric onto it to make this string quilt. Because nothing was backstitched, some of the blocks actually fell apart when I tore away the paper and I had to patch them up with a quick zigzag stitch. I eventually got around to sewing the blocks together and backed it with a plaid flannel sheet folded in half and quilted down each seam line with a rainbow quilt thread. And I put one block on the back with a pocket and wrote some information on a leftover piece of fabric and tucked it into that pocket so that it has information about the quilt, when it was made, and what it was about. So this is as far as I've gotten on the quilt, and I actually haven't worked on it in about 5 years. And hopefully one of these days I'll get up the courage to do the binding, because that's really all that's left. And I've never done quilt binding, so I'm kind of nervous about starting it. And so one of these days I just need to jump into it and do the binding. So anyway, I just wanted to share my quilt with you all. It was my first real project, so to speak, and it's definitely one of the biggest projects I've ever taken on. And so because of that, I really love it, and so that's why I wanted to share it. And so make sure you're subscribed, because I do have more tutorials coming up soon. And in the comments, let me know what your first real sewing project was. I want to know about it, because I think you always kind of feel something special for your first real project. And that even if it doesn't turn out perfect, it's still just so special. And so anyway, I will have more videos up soon, and I will see everyone later. Bye!